Thompson and St. Cour side by side. Racing it out. Who has the faster car to finish this thing? St. Cour is going to bring it home in first. What a race at the end of that thing. Caution, caution, caution. Come around the corner. Jamie Horne is going to be your winner here at the Mars Properties 200. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Welcome to the Beastmode 200, and welcome to the Group 6 Cup Series here for the Doghouse Racing League on Thursday nights. As always, up here in the booth, my name is Hunter Foley, and I'm up here with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, and we are excited to be bringing you this race here tonight, which is sure to be a fantastic show here at the Brickyard. Always difficult, always interesting. Going to be a great show here tonight, but before we get to any of that, let's make sure that we pay the bills and thank all of our wonderful sponsors for having us out here tonight. As mentioned before, this is the Group 6 Cup Series, so special and big shout out to Group 6 for being the series sponsor for this year and stepping up, keeping these drivers out here on the track and keeping us up here in the booth. Group 6 is a leading creative agency, and they are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com. That's GROUP6inc.com. And see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks to Group 6 for being the series sponsor once again this year. The Doghouse Racing League is also very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared, legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's bringing you delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Special shout out again to Shoney's for being a longtime supporter of the Doghouse Racing League. We also would like to thank Butt Kicker for being a sponsor of the Group 6 Cup Series and the Doghouse Racing League. If you want to take your iRacing experience to the next level, experience the very best in racing haptics with Butt Kicker, head on over to their website, thebuttkicker.com, and pick yourself up something today. Again, we appreciate them for being a longtime sponsor. Head on over there and check out their supply and get yourself something today. Thank you to everyone who's joining us for this race tonight. Again, we are doing the Beastmode 200 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, here for the Group 6 Cup Series Thursday night race in the Doghouse Racing League. Be sure you leave a like on the channel and subscribe if you haven't yet, so you don't miss a second of the action that we will have coming up for you, especially with playoff time right around the corner. Got 10 people out there already. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your Thursday night with us. And be sure, as always, to leave a comment in, well, the comments, and shout out your favorite driver. Cheer them on. We will be reading them live, as always. I know they love hearing it. I know we love reading it. Already got BMAC in there, as always. Go team Beastmode Performance. Have a great night, everyone. Best of luck to number 12 of Andrew St. Cour. Mama's watching with some red hearts. If you didn't have the red hearts, you would almost find that a little bit threatening, I have to say. But before I quit yapping, as usual, and turn it over to my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, to talk to us a little bit about Indianapolis as these drivers are finishing up their practice time, do want to start off on a little bit of a heavy note, but we do want to send a special shout out to Tyler Millette, who is a longtime member of the Group 6 Cup Series and the Doghouse Racing League. He is not joining us tonight. Always look forward to seeing that number 94 machine out on the track. He is not going to be here tonight because he's with his mother in the hospital. And so we want to make sure that not only the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series and from Nap Daddy Racing up here in the booth, but also from Loud Pedal Racing, Elite Southern Motorsports, that we are wishing her very well. We are thinking about her. We are praying for her, and we hope she gets better very, very soon. And we're thinking about Tyler as well, going through a difficult time right now. So be sure to keep Tyler Millette and his family in your thoughts and prayers. And we're looking forward to having him back out on the track here very, very soon. But on that note, everyone out here is going to be getting loud and getting things going here at Indianapolis. And with that, I will finally stop all of my yapping and turn it over to my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith. John, talk to us about Indy. What can we expect to see out here tonight?
Yeah, Indy's a big old track, man. 4 corners, kind of hard to manage. Got to really keep it low on the inside. I mean, this track's a lot of fun to watch these Indy cars run around because they're going so fast and able to get a lot of downforce, a lot of grip around these corners. Gets a little bit different when you get these next-gen cars. Just with the different types of grip they have and how these cars want to snap loose just a little bit, get a little tight on the exit of the run. You see Chris Simon there, running his qualifying lap, coming out of that turn and get a little bit close to the wall. I mean, it looks like an easy track. There's a lot of finesse that you got to have going into these corners to hit it just right. And it reminds me a lot of Pocono. I believe actually one of the corners in Pocono is modeled after this track. But you get a bad run out of a corner, it kills your entire lap time. So consistency is definitely key here tonight. So we're watching these guys coming up for the qualifying time. That's Chris Simon, Steven Bonomo out here, the number 9 Hooters car. Brand new scheme for the man out here in Indianapolis. I love it. It's a good looking car.
It is a good looking car, and out here racing for a sponsor, so you love to see that as well. But I know at Indianapolis, like you said, you kind of have those big corners, and they're all in a lot of ways modeled after different tracks that have been around for quite a long time. I know racing different lines is going to be so important here, and a lot of things come into play. The wind, the weather. We've got a pretty hot track tonight at 107 degrees, but where do you expect to see these drivers kind of picking lanes, and where do you see kind of the high line or the low line being where you're going to pass, where you're going to try to run to save some tire? We got a long race ahead of us.
Yes, I don't know how much tire saving is going to come in here tonight. It is kind of a hotter track at 107. Shouldn't be too much of a factor. Humidity is about perfect at 51%, just about where you want it at. Partly cloudy, so maybe we'll catch some shade over parts of this track. We did talk to Jamie Horne last week that talked about how the clouds actually kind of helped him moving over parts of the track when they were over there at Dover when he picked up his win last week. But you're going to see a lot of these guys try to hit that low side and protect that low side for sure. Going onto the straightaways, it's going to be more about who your friends are and who you want to draft with. A little bit of a draft that you can catch down these straights. I guess is a lot more than a little bit, but you'll see guys like Mike Leftwich right here dropping down to the inside lane to try to break off some of that draft. This is long straightaway coming through here. So got to make some friends out here. Got to really try to keep it clean and hold it down coming through the corners because you can wash up to it to another driver above you. And I have a feeling if I had to say caution-wise, that's probably where one of our cautions is going to come from. Just somebody washing up a little too high around these corners.
100%. I know when we've done Indianapolis before, the one thing that we've kind of consistently seen is especially early on, on those restarts, on those initial green flags, guys are trying to hold it together and they end up kind of washing up the racetrack, and you end up getting into somebody, and that's where it all kind of starts. But other than that, usually as the longer runs start to play out, especially here in the Group 6 Cup Series, Doghouse Racing League, a lot of really safe drivers, you're going to see things start to spread out at the end. And then like a lot of these other races, you're going to kind of see more of a lot of pit road strategy come into play. Pit road strategy is going to come into play in a major way at Indianapolis, especially on these long green flag runs. I know we've talked about before with the tires especially with the new updates, it is not as big of a deal to come down and get tires as it has been in the past, but come down for fuel is definitely going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how much fuel these guys are going to get here tonight. This is a, 2.5 mile track, so you're not going to get as many laps if you like to think of fuel in terms of laps and not just gallons. I know a lot of drivers think about fuel in terms of how many laps can I get out of this, but definitely not going to be able to go the whole way for sure in this league. But I don't know if it's going to be a 2-stop race. I know a lot of these guys try to stretch things to make it a 1-stop race. A lot of different strategies come into play here at Doghouse, but going to be an interesting one tonight for sure. You see St. Cour up there on the pole right now, and he's also him and his team between Andrew St. Cour, Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune, and Nicholas Atwood, part of that Beast Mode team, actually sponsoring the race tonight, helping the league out. So special shout out to them. Really appreciate it. It goes a long way.
It does go a long way. And if you or someone you know has a business that you would like to promote here in the Group 6 Cup Series Doghouse Racing Elite, be sure to either send us a message on YouTube or get in touch with one of the race admins via the Doghouse Racing Discord, and we would love to be able to talk about you here live on the broadcast. Got a couple more comments in here. BMAC again, Andrew, Kevin, Nick, Gary, and Adam are the best. What a team. BMAC, as always, being wildly supportive in the comments. We love having all of the mothers in the comments. And then got Mo Gaming, which is number 94 himself, Mr. Tyler Millette. A big heartfelt thanks from the Millette family and I. Proud to be a part of the Doghouse family, and me and Mom are both looking forward to the action tonight. Tyler, I can say from the bottom of my heart, I hope we put on a good show for you. I know the boys out there are looking forward to putting on a good show for you, and we wish both you and your mother the very, very best. Know that you will be in our thoughts and prayers, and we just really appreciate you being here. It means a lot.
But with that said, we are going to take a quick 30-second, I'm going to keep it a 30-second break just for a second, and we will be right back.
Yeah.
And we are back. I apologize about that. I had picked some audio issues. Pretty hard to check our audio quality until we kind of get in here and get things going, but it's a little quiet there, so want to make sure we get that volume turned up for you.
100%, because it is very sure to be a loud race here tonight. We've got 18 drivers out here with us tonight. Currently on the pole is going to be Mr. Andrew St. Cour for Team Beastmode Performance. Got Mr. Jamie Horne behind him in the second spot right now on a 2-win streak. Some people don't consider 2 races or 2 of anything, 2 wins a streak. I think anything more than 1 should be a streak. Then you got Justin McMahon currently sitting in the 3rd position in terms of qualifying. I know, John, I know we see kind of a lot of different strategies here in the Group 6 Cup Series regarding qualifying and how important it is or is not to qualify near the front. And I know we have a lot of drivers who typically like to be kind of coming more from behind to move their way up throughout the race. I'm just kind of specifically referring to number 31 of Eric Warman, and then the number 88 of Josh Cully, who typically are not starting in that top, 3 or 4 in terms of qualifying. I honestly can't remember the last time I saw Josh Cully qualify, to be honest with you, but always guys that we expect to see in the top 5 toward the end of the race. What's kind of your thoughts on that as we go into such a big track like Indy, where there's going to be lots of different strategies at play?
About starting in the back, are you saying?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I could do it. It takes a talented and skilled person to do that and get through the pack. Well, in some leagues it does not. In this league, it 100% does. And these guys have proven time and time again they got what it takes to be able to grind through and get through the pack. It gives me too much anxiety to do that. There is some. I'm a big research guy, you know that, but there's some statistics out there that show that most of the accidents happen within the top 3rd and like 2nd, 3rd of the pack. Most of them are actually in the front 3rd, which is crazy. So I like to be in front of that if you kind of divide it into 3s. But as for a lot of accidents tend to happen I like to be in front of it. These guys are able to weave through it. Maybe it works out for them tonight. I know this is a hard track to get around and really pass people here too, unless you get that low side. High side is going to be kind of non-existent unless you have fresh tires or you just get a really good run off somebody. But I know it's kind of nerve-wracking going to that first turn because you got to get on the brakes a little bit, try to get all the way down to the white line and hold it together as you're coming out in those cold tires. But looking forward to see what these drivers can do here tonight as we are about to grid up. If you would like to give us a starting grid for the night.
I can definitely do that. In terms of your qualifying here tonight for the Beastmode 200 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, your first row is going to be Andrew St. Cor. You're going to be your pole winner with a 51.65 qualifying time starting first tonight. Jamie Horne looking for his 3rd win in a row. Tonight, he's going to be starting 2nd. Justin McMahon is going to be starting in 3rd place here tonight with a 51.88 as a qualifying time. Christopher Simon, our first Shoney's Racing team driver, going to be starting 4th. Nicholas Atwood, BMP driver, starting 5th. Kevin Thompson, BMP driver, starting 6th. Mike Leftwich going to be starting in 7th position. A lot of BMP guys and Shoney's Racing team guys up there near the top here tonight. Gary Clune going to be starting in 8th position. Adam Thompson starting in 9th. Eric Warman is going to be starting in 10th tonight. Stephen Bonomo going to be starting 11th. Jason Ross in the 00 going to be 12th. Gary Armijo going to be starting 13th. Mark Dumont starting 14th, and that is going to end the drivers that put home a qualifying time here tonight. After that, it will go on to practice times in terms of where they will end up starting. So that is going to put, I believe, Josh Cully in 15th. That's going to put Zach Michael in 16th. It's going to put Adam Gardner in 17th, Bill Gentry in 18th, and Raymond Rittenauer the 2nd in 19th. And while we are getting things finished up and getting gridded up here at Indy, just a couple of facts again about the track tonight. We are racing at the Brickyard here, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 2.5 miles around this track with very distinct and different turns. We are doing 80 laps here tonight. We will have stages at lap 20 and lap 40. Again, if this is your first time here joining us, we do not throw a caution for the stage breaks. It is just for points. I can promise you, you will see some drivers start to move around at the end of those stages. We are getting here to playoff time. Every spot will matter.
I'm kind of confused because maybe I just don't pay attention. Maybe it's always been a thing, but it says caution flag at the top of the screen there now. I don't know, maybe it's always done that, but I've just never seen that before pop up there for the start of the race or a pace lap. So I know iRacing just been a under another update, and then they followed it up the next day with another update. So not a lot of car changes this time for that update. A lot of more technical stuff that I don't know anything about, but I don't think it's going to affect the drivers too much. But always some bugs that come with updates. You got to give it to the iRacing guys though, because I don't know how to code stuff like that. So shout out to them for being able to do that and put on a
100%.
fantastic game.
Yeah, and honestly, it just keeps getting better and better. Like when the new updates come out, there's always some different things here or there where people are like, "Oh, that's really different," or "That's not really different," or whatever. But it always leads to a more realistic experience. And when you're a game or a simulator that tries to market yourself on realism and being the closest thing to being behind the wheel, they consistently put in the effort to try to make it so.
Yeah, they do also have a new game coming out through iRacing that's kind of helping out with that, with the NASCAR 25. Just got that release date, going to be October 14th. That'll be PlayStation and Xbox, I believe. So it's going to be released on first, and then moving over to PC probably in 2026. But I know me and you are pretty excited about that for other reasons.
We are very excited.
We kind of worked really hard on our side and actually ended up getting our own logo inside of that game. So that'd be the first hard copy that I buy of a video game in a long time. Just to say
Same
that
here.
I did it. Yeah, I'm like probably not going to play it too much compared to iRacing, but you gotta have it.
Gotta have it. For those that don't know, with the new NASCAR game coming out, they are including not just NASCAR drivers and NASCAR teams, but there's going to be some ARCA cars and other leagues other than the actual Cup Series itself, and Nap Daddy Racing, which is myself and John's company. For those that don't know, don't just do broadcasting. Started this thing off as a design shop, and we have worked very closely with one of the teams out in the ARCA West League, and there's going to be a Nap Daddy Racing logo on the side of the Central Coast Racing cars in the ARCA West League for the new NASCAR game. And to be honest, we're just real proud of that.
Yeah, I mean, we can shut the business down right now. Like we've done it. I'm happy with it.
We've made it. A couple of boys that grew up playing NASCAR games, loving NASCAR. That kind of seems like a full circle moment. And if you think about it too hard, might just bring a tear to your eye. And so I'm gonna move on from that and just remember how happy I am. Just as happy as I am that the pace car is off the track and we are getting ready to get this thing going.
Great.
B-Max says, way to go, Andrew. He got the pole position. The green flag is in the air. Andrew St. Cord leads this thing off with Jamie Horne by his side. And we are underway here at the Beastmode 200 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, already starting to get a little single file coming out through here. St. Cord with a jump getting out in front. Jamie Horne, your winner last week and the winner the week before, right behind him, followed by Justin McMahon of that 24 car.
Yeah, I know we were talking about it earlier. Like, you're going to see some people kind of try to ride that low line. You're going to be concerned about them getting up and getting into somebody up on the higher side of the track. But right now, these guys got single file, and they got single file quick. You got to imagine that's some practice put in before the race to figure out where your line's going to be and where you feel like you're the fastest.
Looks like Chris Simon bringing it down pit road pretty early on here. I don't know if he's got some difficulties or what, or having to take a black flag for some reason, but he's going to be bringing it down. See Mike Leftwich in a big battle back here between him and that is Jason Ross in that 00 car there on the inside. Adam Thompson looking to get around anyway, and this is also a strategy here. I'm kind of glad it's happening early so we can talk about it, but some of these guys that are trying to get around these cars like this are going to get boxed in, and you really got to pick your lane well.
Yeah, 100%. Especially at Indy, where you try to rip that low line and you're trying to pass, and then you realize you have nowhere to go, and then you're going to find yourself sliding up the track like we were talking about earlier. And that doesn't just affect the guy that's up on the top of the track. That can affect the guy on the bottom as well. And that's a really quick way to find yourself looking for a John Deere Green trophy. I am learning that Chris Simon was serving an EOL penalty So that is why he made a pass down pit road. He is back out on the track. Gary Armijo was also having some internet issues at the beginning of the race, but he has also made his way out onto the track. But all of those guys are going to be a little off pace right now. Gary Armijo going to be 17th, 16 seconds behind the leader. Zach Michael going to be a good 30 seconds off of the pace right now, and Chris Simon about 33 seconds off of pace right now.
Andrew St. Cour is kind of just pulling away here. He's got a 0.8 second lead already built out. You see some shuffling going on back there as it looks like Adam Thompson finally gets around. But right now your front sitters are going to be Andrew St. Cour, followed by Jamie Horne, Justin McMahon, Kevin Thompson, and Nick Atwood and Gary Clune for that top 6. I want to include the top 6 because that is all 4 BMP guys running that top 6 right now.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it before, but Team BMP has just had, I don't want to call it a resurgence because they've been very strong all year long, but I mean, just working as a team, I mean, they're, especially the last like 4 races, I mean, you're hard pressed to find, to not have 2 or 3 BMP guys up there, at least in the top 10, and really for the last couple of races in the top 5. I know Andrew St. Cour's been looking to get back in the winner's circle after our duels that we had at Atlanta, where his teammate Kevin Thompson, him and Andrew were both up there at the front the entire time, and then Kevin able to get it away both times. But I know Andrew, competitive as he is going to be looking to get back into the winner's circle.
Yeah, somebody else trying to get back in the winner's circle tonight, Jamie Horne.
Oh, caution flag's out.
Oh.
Jason Ross, 0-0 in the wall.
See Jason Ross trying to see if anybody else took any damage from that.
Like he just got loose there trying to get back down.
Let's see if we can back it up just a little bit here. You see Jason Ross here on the top side of your screen in that 0-0 car. I'm not sure. This might be a little too early from when it actually showed the contact here, but yeah, I believe it's going to be all the way down here in the first turn. Yeah, trying to stay off that wall, gets a little loose, spins it around. Everybody else able to avoid him. I believe he's going to be able to carry on from that too.
And another note here, if this does happen to be the first time that you're joining here with us, some leagues will do a fast repair. Essentially, we're able to go down pit road and get your damage repaired at the same time it would take to do a normal 4-tire stop. And the Doghouse Racing League Group 6 Cup Series does not do that, so any damage that you do end up getting will be on your own to get repaired, but didn't look like too hard of a hit there. I know these cars can seem like they are about as durable as China sometimes, but it just depends on what that hit looked like and if he'll be having to get any damage repaired. But I know for guys like Gary Armijo, Chris Simon, and Zach Michael, they were happy to see that caution come out. That gets them right back up with the rest of the group. Haven't seen too much movement up there in that top 6 or 7 so far. Kevin Thompson up a couple spots in 4th. Gary Clune up a couple spots from 8th to 6th. Eric Warman off to a fast start, moving up to 7th from 10th. Also have Raymond Rittenauer as our biggest mover, currently started in 19th and is up to the top 10 in 10th place. And then as per usual, we see the number 88 machine of Josh Cully up 4 spots from where he started in 15th, and he's going to be running 11th as we get this thing back underway following this yellow flag. Looks like pretty much everybody brought it down there.
think everybody 10th and back brought it down. I know some of these top guys 1 through 9 stayed out. Andrew St. Core, Jamie Horne, Justin McMahon, Kevin Thompson, Nick Atwood, Gary Clune, Eric Warman, Adam Thompson, and Steve Bonomo and Ray Rittenauer all stayed out. I think Josh Cully is going to be the first one that brought it down.
You are absolutely correct.
Trying to see if we can pull up here our pit strategies.
Pit strategy is going to be one of those things, especially if we end up on a long green flag run, that's going to be very, very key here at Indianapolis. Timing out your pit road, when you need to go get tires, when you need to go get gas, making sure you have enough for the end of the race, especially in the Group 6 Cup Series. Making sure you have enough gas to finish off the race has been a issue numerous times. It's definitely very interested to see how these guys go about that. Jason Ross still down on pit road getting his damage repaired. He's going to be trying to get out of there before going a lap down. And then it looks like Zach Michael has called it a night. I know he was having some issues at the beginning of the race. Looks like he is disconnected and called it a night. That will leave us with 18 cars out on the track and 18 cars, at least currently, out on the lead lap.
Yeah, we're sitting here watching Josh Cully, Gary Amijo, and Chris Simon bring it down one more time just to top off one more time before they get out there. So could see some good fuel strategy going on here tonight. I've actually seen about 5 people miss their pit stall now.
Wow.
Don't know if they just need to repaint the lines or what, but I know Chris Simon missed it earlier. Gary Armijo missed it right there. I cannot remember the other 2 that I saw, but I saw some cars backing up earlier.
That's definitely going to be something to watch out for. I mean, I know, not to pick on him at all. He's currently up there running very, very well. Very, very good driver. But Justin McMahon having a very strong week last week at Dover. And we saw him miss getting onto the pit road entrance. And that unfortunately put him really far behind the 8 ball. That race went green almost the entire race. Really tough to get any laps back when you don't have those yellow flags waving.
Yeah, not a league that you're going to see a lot of yellow flags either, which, I mean, I don't know. I'm just having flashbacks to my my personal league race last night where there was so many caution flags, and I'd rather go green from start to finish, so I really like what they do over here. Oh, man, I hate a caution flag. I know some of these guys up here at the front that have this long-term strategy. Hate to see the caution come out, too. Guys like Eric Warman, I think if you have a green flag run here tonight, he could be up at the front without any issues.
100%. Pace car is off. We are about to get this thing back underway here. We're going to be on lap 9 when they cross the stripe. Great jump again by Andrew St. Core as we get this thing back underway. Still 71 laps of hard racing as we cross the stripe there.
Good side-by-side action between Kevin Thompson, Justin McMahon there, trying to get around, trying to work that high side. He might have a good run here. McMahon not able to punch it as hard as he wants to coming out of that corner. Atwood's going to come up on his bumper too.
Atwood's going to get that low side. Like you said, that's going to be really the place where you're going to be able to see a lot of people make their passes. It's really tough to maintain as much speed as you need to going into those corners on the high side unless you're really able to rip it down and get back down to that white line as quick as possible.
Yeah, another thing you can do to make that pass in that high side is exactly what Kevin Thompson just did earlier. We saw him do it coming around the corner, kind of squeeze that driver below you. So he has to wait and wait till he gets back on the throttle. If not, he's going to send you both into the wall. So good job on Kevin Thompson to be a little offensive there and squeeze Justin McMahon to get around.
100%. And we see these guys kind of go back to the single file racing. And this is where it really becomes a thinking man's game. You got to look for your opportunity. It's not the, immediately go low, try to pass, go high, try to pass, shuffling. You see at some racetracks. Indianapolis is so long. I mean, we're seeing out of our race leader right now, I mean, you're looking at His last lap was a 53.596. You're looking at almost a minute to get around this track, so you got to be setting it up. Going into turn one, you'll be thinking about where you want to be in order to make that pass. We're seeing Andrew St. Cyr on the bottom of the track. It's looking like the high side's actually picked up a little bit of momentum here. St. Cyr gets back in line right in front of Eric Warman.
Yeah, I just saw some smoke earlier, and I might have been him since he's fallen back that much. Going from first down to sixth place behind his teammate Gary Clune there, but he's going to get back into it, and he was pulling away by himself earlier. Had some good clean air. Probably helped him get out front just a little bit more, but it's still early in the race. He's got a lot of time to sit back and calculate exactly what he wants to do.
100%. And you got to be, if you're one of these guys that is, kind of in this little bit further back, there's not really any packs. It's a lot of single file racing. But if you're sitting back here, your guy like Eric Warman, your guy like Adam Thompson, Stephen Minomo, your current 7th, 8th, and 9th drivers, this is not a bad place to be. You just got to maintain. You've got to stay safe. You've got a really, really big track. You just got to try to not put yourself in any sort of risky positions. Be in a place where you can see any sort of trouble that's happening in front of you coming. And try to be there at the end. Make sure you time your pit road strategies well, because at this point, again, once we're back to this single file racing, you cannot expect that a yellow flag is going to save you.
Yellow flag.
There's going to be yellow flag out. It is Gary Armijo. Appears to be Gary Armijo and Bill Gentry. Back toward the back of the pack. Saw both of them in the wall right there.
It looks like Bill's got some damage to that right front tire there. Doesn't look perfectly even, but hopefully nothing too long. Good part about this track being so long, it's kind of like Daytona and Talladega. You have more time to fix up your car before you go a lap down. You talk about tracks like Bristol, 6 minutes of damage could be a deal breaker for you. But tracks like this, 6 minutes of damage, that's maybe 2 or 3 pit or caution flags coming out and get that thing fixed up completely. Probably even more. It probably takes them about a minute and a half, about 2 minutes to get around this track. So you can definitely get out there and come back around the next time and get maybe even another minute repaired.
Yeah, 100%, especially with them under the caution flag going slow around this 2.5 mile track. You're able to get a lot of damage repaired, and that's really great for a lot of these drivers. Like, you're probably going to be in both of those situations there for both Bill. And Gary. You're probably going to be able to get back onto the track with a drivable car before going a lap down. I did hear over the radio, I did hear Adam Thompson telling Andrew St. Cyr that was a hell of a save that he made, so I know we didn't catch it on the broadcast, but I think Andrew St. Cyr might have had a little brush with trouble and was able to save it. We'll see if at some point we're able to track that down, but either way, Andrew St. Cyr able to save it and keep it on the track. We got a couple other cars coming down now that we have open pit road. Those cars that were involved in that caution would have been entering a closed pit road, which sends you to the end of the line. They were going to end up there anyway. No harm, no foul. So we have Eric Warman, Adam Thompson, Mike Leftwich, Mark Dumont, Jason Ross, and Raymond Rittenauer all coming down under this yellow flag.
See if we can find this incident with Andrew St. Cyr. Cannot remember how far back it was. I remember seeing the smoke, but not seeing any caution or anything.
Either way, still in good shape for Andrew St. Cyr. Gonna be out there restarting 6th once we get this thing back going. Kevin Thompson moved his way up from 6th place to be in the number 2 spot for right now, and Gary Clune up from 8th to 5th. A couple of guys that are also having some big movement is Stephen Bonomo up from 11th to 7th. Adam Gardner up from 17th to 8th place, and Josh Cully up from 15th to 9th. A lot of really big movement out of those guys. Again, not surprising at all to see them moving their way up towards the front.
Here we go. It's going to flash you back to Andrew St. Cyr. This is back on lap 10. Is Andrew St. Cyr out here leading this thing? Yeah, I got loose, got it just a little too low going into that corner. Yeah, the parade just came around that high side and got around him, shuffled him all the way back to 6th place. But that's going to make your race leader still Jamie Horne out here leading this thing 15 laps in. On his outside is going to be Kevin Thompson as the pace car lights are off, so we will go green this next time. Trying to jump that restart behind Jamie Horne is going to be Nick Atwood, and beside him, Justin McMahon make up your top 4. Yeah, you said it earlier about these BMP guys, and I kind of noticed it, but you never really like put my finger on it till you said it. They've kind of flipped the switch. Maybe since Atlanta, maybe a little before, since St. Cyr winning at Charlotte this year. And they, like you said, they've all been doing good. Yes, I know that. But as a team collectively, it's like they're all just right there at the front for the past 5-6 weeks now.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they've figured something out collectively as a team. That's not to say that the team was doing poorly before that, but it's just that they've been so in sync and so consistent in where they are out on the track at any given point. Like, it almost seems surprising when you don't see a BMP guy in the lead, or, you know, a couple of them in the top 5. And that's exactly where it is right now. Andrew St. Cyr, even after that little mishap back on lap 10, like you just showed, still in 6th place. And you've got Kevin Thompson and Nick Atwood 2nd and 3rd. But Jamie Horne, I mean, he's been having a crazy, crazy good year. I say that like it's in any way surprising. And he's going to be out in the race lead as the pace car goes off the track following our second caution here tonight. Lap 15, lap 16 as we cross the stripe. We will have a stage at lap 20, so will Jamie Horne... Oh, no, and we're spinning immediately. Restart trouble.
And we just gave the broadcast jinx right there. That was your fault.
Oh, no.
I hate when we do that. Hype him up. Feeling good. The Dick Vidal of iRacing.
Yeah, that was a banner I was very happy to bestow upon you for the longest, and I think it might have caught me right there. Who all did we have involved there? I know we had the number 11 of Gary Clune, but
yeah, looks like there's a couple of people had little spins there on the restart. Gary Clune's going to get a little loose here. Pop up into his teammate of Andrew St. Cyr. St. Cyr able to squeeze on through, but Clune down onto Stephen Bonomo in that number 9 car. The camera fades behind the pagoda here in the center of Indianapolis. You like that pool? I know what it's called.
yeah, 5 points for Pagoda. Well done.
5 points for Gryffindor over here. No, I actually been out to Indianapolis before, and I did the tour out here. It's pretty cool. They let you go out there and kiss the bricks, tell you about the pagoda. They won't let you into the top floor because apparently that's where the IndyCar F1 executives, that's where their suite is at. But they did tell me why it is shaped like a pagoda and something about a pool on Japanese culture, and I totally forgot. I don't know why they do it anymore, so that's a good little trivia thing for the comment section to give us here. Another fun little piece of trivia is, there is a golf course located in the inside of this track.
I did actually know that. I don't know who it's for, but I know it exists.
There is 3 holes of a golf course located inside the middle of this track here called Brickyard Crossing. And if you would like to play 18 holes there right now, the rates are going for a cheap old, cart fee price of $215.
Good Lord. See Gary Clune get on and off of pit road there and able to get back onto the track and beat the pace car. Looks like Steve Bonomo still down there on pit road, getting some damage repaired. We see Jason Ross bring it down. Gary Armijo going to come down here as well. Same for Andrew St. Cyr. Nick Atwood, Kevin Thompson. And it looks like everyone else is going to stay out on pit road. Or out on the track. That's good job, Hunter. Well done on that one. That's crazy, though. $215 for playing 18 holes of a 3-hole golf course. And for those that don't know, I live in, let's call it, central north-ish North Carolina. So I am surrounded by very, very good golf courses on all sides. And I think the most expensive golf course that would be within an hour of where I live, which would be a nationally recognized course that a lot of people would play on like their tobacco road trips, is about $100.
I'm booking us a tee time right now, actually. Can you make
Tee
it
time flights
tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.?
Oh Lord, I'll call my boss.
Hey, if you don't bring your clubs, you can rent a set of tailor-made clubs for $85. I wouldn't even pay $85 for a round. Not gonna pay that for the clubs.
I'm as big of an appreciator of a great golf course as anybody else. I've had the privilege to play a lot of really great golf courses around the Pinehurst area, and it's amazing. It really is. But at the end of the day, I'm still a 13 handicap. So as great of a golf course can be, as fun as it can be, as interesting and difficult as it can be, as long as I break 90, I'm still counting that a good day, and I don't think I'm the target market.
Dude, that's the difference between good golfers and bad golfers, because I'm not like, as long as I can break 90, mine's like, as long as I don't lose a pack of balls today, I'm okay. I judge mine off how many balls I lose. Like,
because that's right there. I mean, that's adding a quick $30.
Yeah, like
right onto the end.
What'd you shoot? I don't know, maybe a 120, but I only lost 11 balls. I still got one left. Oh man, good old golf banners. We're sitting here this 2.5 mile pace to get around this track. You can actually see kind of part of the golf course right there.
I was going to say, it looked like I saw some tee boxes right there.
Yeah, and I think they have nets put up just in case I go out there and spend $215 so I don't hit any cars. But
man, that'd be great to be out there playing golf while the race is going on. How cool would that be?
I'm not sure if you can do it during the race. I feel like you can for a certain price and a certain position of power. But I know they say there's practices going on and you can be out there.
That'd be pretty sweet. But as we get ready to get this thing back going here for the Beastmode 200, again, shout out to Team Beastmode Performance for stepping up and sponsoring this race. We appreciate them. Love broadcasting them out on the track. Jamie Horne is going to be taking the lead here in first. Justin McMahon in second. Adam Gardner in third. Josh Cully up from 15th to 4th. Chris Simon going to be in 5th. And we are back. Green flag racing. No spins on the restart this time. We are back underway.
See Jamie Horne electing to take the high side there on the restart. Trying to get that wide arc coming into turn 1 there. Adam Gardner a little loose with Josh Cully right on his heels. It's like Gardner's really loose coming into those corners.
Yeah, it looked like Gary Armijo got a little loose. Like he might have gotten kind of stuck up on the high side there. Right behind his teammate, Andrew St. Cyr. I'm sorry, not teammate, but right alongside Andrew St. Cyr. Currently have 16 cars on the lead lap out on the track right now. Gary Clune being the last car on the lead lap there with the 0-0 of Jason Ross in 15th and 16th. Got Bill Gentry, who's going to be 2 laps down, currently in 18th out on the track. And Stephen Bonomo still, unfortunately, on pit road. He's going to be 3 laps down, currently in the 18th position. Starting to see some moving and shaking up there at the front, though.
Yeah, Adam Thompson's going to mess around and win this thing. He is a man on a mission.
We've talked about it before. I don't know what happens during these races, but it seems like something happens. A lot of times it's to Adam Thompson where he has to get damage repaired or something's going on. And then you just look back out on the track and he's just setting land speed records out there. And it looks like he's trying to set one right now. He is a man on a mission. He just got around the 31 of Eric Mormon to get himself into the 4th position.
Yeah,
and you might be fooled into thinking. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we talked about it earlier. Eric Warman, Josh Cully back at the front.
Yeah. Officially in a surprise to no one. Eric Warman and Josh Cully in the top 5 after starting not in the top 5.
Hey, but look who's right behind Eric Warman, too. Chris Simon. Had a lot of adversity to come over this race. Had an EOL at the start. Went all the way to the back. I believe he pitted again to give himself kind of a self-EOL, just taking some fuel. But he's right here in 6th place.
He is working his way back up, trying to get that Shoney's Racing team up there into that top 5. Car off the track.
It's going to be hard for him to check
Adam
up.
Gardner. Ooh. Adam Gardner, he was trying to get it checked up. He almost came back up onto the track. And that was almost a big pile up. Able to save it, and looks like he'll be able to at least save the car. He's still moving, but that looked a pretty good lick on that left side.
He's trying to get to it. Yeah, just got a little loose coming out of that corner. Hard hit to the wall. He's going to have a lot of damage to try to fix up there.
Unfortunate for Adam, who was having a really, really good run. Started in 17th and worked his way well into the top 10. But now finding himself falling back quickly to the back of the pack, and he is definitely going to have some damage. Or definitely have some damage to get repaired on that 56 machine. Out front, Jamie Horne still leading this thing. Justin McMahon and Josh Cully going to be your top 3. Didn't mention it when it happened, but we did have our stage at lap 20. Bonus points going to Jamie Horne there for being in the lead at that point. Congratulations to him. Looking for his 3rd race win in a row here in the Thursday night Group 6 Cup Series in the Doghouse Racing League. And Justin McMahon looking to bounce back from a tough performance last week, running really, really good all race long. Had an unfortunate pit road incident that kind of set things off to put him more towards the back of the pack. And Josh Cully had a really, really strong run at Dover. I believe he ended up finishing 2nd in that race. And he finds himself in 3rd here, trying to work his way back forward, as he does so well.
We can shuffle back here. Andrew St. Cyr, your pole winner for the night. Back in 7th place, down 6 spots. Had that little incident where he got a little loose, able to keep it straight, but fell back to 7th place earlier. Right behind him is going to be Mike Leftwich and that number 8 Shoney's machine. Gary Armijo, ninth place behind him. Gary's up 4 spots tonight. Did have that accident earlier, able to keep it back on the track, get some damage repaired. And then Ray Rittenauer the second is going to round out your top 10. Behind him, Nick Atwood, Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune, all 3 of those BMP guys.
And I know they've slipped back a couple of spots. Nick Atwood back, it's going to be 6 spots, started in 5th, back in 11th now. Kevin Thompson off 6 spots, started in 6th and now in 12th. But definitely look to see those BMP guys back toward the front as this race goes on. Indy's a weird track, though. I mean, you're going to see a lot of guys that really, really enjoy Indy. This is going to be one of those tracks that when you talk to someone in a post-race interview or in an interview before Indy, they're either going to be telling you, I love Indy, can't wait to get out there, definitely counting on a good finish, or they're going to be like, I cannot wait to get to the week after the Brickyard.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very neutral track for me, and there's aspects of it that I don't like, but there's also things that I really like. I think it's really cool, especially how you have to really have to finesse that car into the corners. I know it doesn't look like it. It's a 2.5 mile track. You're thinking maybe I can just hold the gas down and get around it. Well, it's not really that way here. It does get a little tight, come into those small little straightaways there on the ends, but it also gets pretty loose, as you've seen here tonight, coming into some of these corners and trying to get on the throttle.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of times people, like you were just saying, big track, you can just basically hold gas and just let it eat and get around the track. But that is a very quick way to end up on hole 3 here at Indy. It's like you said, especially if you don't quite get into that angle of attack that you need to be into going into these corners, it gets really, really tight. It's going to send you up into that. Or if you get into it a little too quick trying to exit, that's really an easy way to kind of self-spin. And we've already seen that a couple times tonight.
Yeah, if you watch Jamie Horne and Justin McMahon kind of go around this track, you have to be consistent on where you're hitting your marks at, especially in these corners. If you're even a tire width higher than what you need to be, you see both of them getting below that white line, even just tire width, you're losing time. I mean, you have to get down to the bottom and get down quickly, and you'll see the guys that aren't able to get down to the bottom are the ones that are going to be losing spots or losing time as the race goes on.
Do you really think tire saving is going to be something that we're going to see as an issue as this race goes on, and especially if we kind of have a longer green flag run here, or is it going to be more about the gas?
It's going to be, I don't know what's in the tank, but I think it's going to be a little bit more about the gas. Tire wear here is a bigger issue than it would be at a track like Daytona or Talladega, because you are making a sharper corner and you're taking it pretty fast too. But I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. But then again, I have very limited experience here with these new next-gen cars that we have with the new update. I know before when I raced here, I was ripping it and ripping it, letting her eat, and still finished like 10th place.
Well, speaking of letting her eat, we still do have that first and second place of Jamie Horne and Justin McMahon. Going back to our between about 3rd and 6th place right now. Josh Kelly going to be about 2.5 seconds off the lead, currently running in 3rd. Adam Thompson, who we were just talking about a few minutes ago, driving like a man possessed up into the 4th spot. But you can also see that group behind him of Andrew St. Cor, Christopher Simon, and Andrew St. Cor are working their way back and working their way back quickly. That's about to be a stacked pack right there that is trying to get back to the front of this race.
And I'm just seeing a lot of tips and little tricks that these drivers are doing to get just a little bit of advantage of speed. One of them, I just saw Josh Cully doing it. He's coming into these corners. He's kind of, I mean, I actually learned this little technique from one of our own here, Jonathan Jennings, who's not here tonight, learning how to set a corner and really get your nose down and try to rotate that car a little earlier than what you would think, really. So we'll see him coming in right here. That's a terrible angle, but he's probably applying just a little bit of a brake, and it's helping that car rotate into that corner, so he's taking it on a straighter angle. Another one I just saw was from back here with Nicholas Atwood. And you'll see as he comes out of the corner, he is driving hard and straight up to the top, trying to get as high as he can to get as much track as possible, keeping that wheel straight and gaining speed coming out of that corner. I think that's what allowed him to get around Gary Armijo a little bit earlier. And again, it's oval racing. Everybody thinks oval racing's pushing gas going left, and it's a lot of tiny little, very fine tactile details you have to do with the steering wheel and your feet on the gas and brake to get a fast car.
100%. Speaking of cars that are out there on the track tonight, a couple updates for you at home. As we mentioned earlier, Zach Michaelhead was our first car out of the race tonight. He's going to be 25 laps down in 19th. Steven Bonomo, after having that damage in our last caution, has also called it a night. He is going to be taking home the 18th position tonight. And then Jason Ross, who was dealing with some damage, maybe some internet issues as well, has also called it a night. And he will end up in the 17th spot. Only one lap down. Just got out of the session, I believe. But he will end up in 17th position. And that will leave our only car out on the track with any laps down as Bill Gentry, currently running in 17th, 2 laps down, but will automatically get bumped up to 16th. Carrying about a lap or two. Adam Gardner's still out on the lead lap. Currently running in 15th, about 35 seconds behind the leader, but still out on the track and getting around even after that hard hit that we saw him take.
Yeah, and I was trying to look at his pit count here, which is a new feature I just learned on my end, that I can see how many times somebody has pitted. He's only pitted one time tonight, and that was to take fuel early on. So he has not pitted since he's taken that damage. You can see it's a little hard to control for him, but he's, for what it's worth, I mean, doing a great job holding it down. If it was me, I'd be spinning in circles like a one-legged duck out there, but shout out to him for getting around.
Circles like a one-legged duck.
Yeah, just kicking away, man. He's going to bring it down pit road right now. Another little broadcaster jinx. Oh, he might get caught with a speeding penalty there as he locks it up, trying to come in.
Looks like he might have caught in a little bump on the rear right there as well. The wrong kind of butt slap, not the celebratory kind.
Been watching too much baseball.
Or too much Key and Peele, one or the other.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't watched much baseball here recently. You and I both know diehard Atlanta Braves fans. I've had to schedule extra therapy sessions because of what's been going on this baseball season, to be very honest with you.
I just resorted to going out in my backyard and throwing something at the fence.
Probably better throwing than the Atlanta Braves pitching has been.
Yeah, I'm trying to get hired. Sign me up.
Well, the way the AA looks for deals, you know, we might offer you 9 years and a Big Mac coupon.
Hey, I'll take it. Keep feeding me the Big Macs, baby. Throwing a snack wrap, and here I am down. Nick Atwood getting around Mike Leftwich here. That pass is poor position, actually. So my system kind of glitches up over here, but that's going to be a pass for position. Atwood's moving up to 8th place. Still pushing his way towards the front.
He's trying to get locked up there with his teammate Andrew St. Cyr, who's currently running in 7th. He's trying to run down Christopher Simon for the Shoney's racing team. Currently running in 6th. We've seen all of these guys about 4th through 8th start to get a lot closer to each other, but they are still running to try to catch Josh Cully in the 3rd position. And they are all almost 4 seconds. Josh Cully is currently behind the leader. Trying to run down Jamie Horne and Justin McMahon, who have just had an absolute lock on this race so far. They've been running so well.
I don't know if it's like just the clean air or what, but whoever's been in front tonight has been able just to take off. I mean, I'm not going to totally say it's air because our leaders tonight have been Andrew St. Cyr and Jamie Horne, both talented drivers. It was probably just a lot of skill, but something about being up there, man. Those guys are just gone.
100%. And even like beyond, like you just said, it's a big the major issue is that they're both just very, very good. But especially after the new update, we've seen a lot of drivers talking about how important having clean air is. And when you have that clean air and you kind of get out in the front of the race, it's really hard for people to be able to really run you down, especially coming back from 4-second leads, 4.5-second leads that we see that Jamie and Justin have on Josh Kelly and Adam Thompson right now. I actually just heard Adam Thompson come over the radio, and he was telling Josh to try to keep it in one line because he's trying to get up there and get on his bumper. Is drafting a big benefit here at Indy? I know it's a lot different than a Daytona or a Talladega, where if you lose the draft, I mean, you're out of the race. But how important is that here at Indy?
Especially on these straights, man, you really got to try to lock in. You'll see some drivers, and I think it might be a strategy by Josh Kelly dropping down to the low side here on the front stretch to try to break up that draft and maintain his clean air and stay out front. But these guys can link up and maybe work together. You're going to lose a little bit throughout the corners, just the way the air flows over top of the car. But see Josh Kelly dropping down there now, trying to break up that draft just a little bit. I think these guys need to get together and get a little bit of help behind each other and go run down Jamie Horne and Justin McMahon, who's been able to maintain at least better than other people. He's currently still P2, a second and a half out. He's lost about half a second over the past 5 laps.
Yeah, Jamie Horne just performs so well in clean air. We've seen that time and time again. Huge winner at Sonoma. I mean, just absolutely ran away with the thing. I know we don't have him here tonight, but Brandon Trush was the only one that was able to kind of give him any sort of run, and he still finished over 8 seconds behind Jamie at Sonoma. And then at Dover last week, Jamie Horne just ran pretty much a perfect race and was able to get up there and win that thing. And he's trying to get out front and stay out there here tonight at the Brickyard. As we come up on lap 41 here, that is going to be the end of stage 2. Once again, we do not throw any cautions for stage breaks. It is just for points. But Jamie Horne been pretty dominant here tonight, leading almost all of the laps here tonight. Andrew St. Cyr taking the first couple. And then Jamie Horne getting out front and has been able to stay there. And he's going to take stage 2. He is going to be your winner of both stages tonight at lap 20 and lap 40. And we are officially halfway through this race. Get at the halfway point, just want to make sure we give a huge shout out to Team Beast Mode for sponsoring the race. We appreciate them very, very much. You see their drivers out there in Andrew St. Cyr, Nicholas Atwood, Gary Clune, Kevin Thompson. I believe Adam Gardner rolls with them as well. It's a really, really good racing out of them tonight. Adam Gardner had, unfortunately, been dealing with some issues earlier on in this race with a caution. Also want to give a big shout out to our series sponsor for Group 6, to Shoney's. You're able to see the Shoney's racing team drivers out there in Chris Simon, Mike Leftwich, and a butt kicker. Thank you to all of our sponsors for making this thing possible, keeping these drivers out on the track, keeping us up here in the booth. We appreciate it very, very much. The drivers appreciate it very, very much. And thank you to everyone who's been tuning in with us, spending your Thursday night with us. Got 14 people out there in the stream right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you to every single one of you for joining us tonight. Be sure you leave a like if you haven't. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't had a chance yet. And leave a comment. Cheer on your favorite driver. I know we've had Beat Mac in there as always. Pulling for Team Beastmode Performance, but especially pulling for the number 12 of Andrew St. Cyr, currently running in 6th right now. As we see our race leader, Jamie Horne, coming down pit road.
Yeah, Horne just took it down. Mike Leftwich coming off of pit road right now. I'm going to put up the scrolling standings up there at the top so you can see when your driver is coming down pit road. I see Ray Rittenauer the second coming down as well. That fantastic camera angle that's partially obscured by the scoring tower.
I know we have just actually looked at the race stats here. It looks like Adam Gardner has called it a night. 56 machine is going to be done for the night. So that is going to be Zach Michael, Stephen Bonomo, Jason Ross, and Adam Gardner out of the race. They are going to be 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, respectively. Bill Gentry still out there on the track. He's going to be 2 laps down in 5th. And Kevin Thompson going to be 1 lap down in 14th. Mike Leftwich 1 lap down in 13th. But as we start to see some of these green flag pit stops go on here, we do have some shuffling up at the front. Josh Cully, now your race leader in that number 88 machine, up from 15th to 1st. That is going to make him our biggest mover of the night so far. Adam Thompson going to be currently running in 2nd, followed by Eric Warman, Andrew St. Cour, and Christopher Simon to make up your current top 5. But we will see how this thing shuffles out once we see these pit stops.
Yeah,
cycle back out.
That was Jamie Horne's first pit stop of the night to take some fuel there, and he got 44 laps out of that, so looks like it might be a one-stop strategy, barring any cautions for Jamie Horne.
So Justin McMahon also brought it down as well.
Justin McMahon looks like he is on the same strategy, only pitting once tonight.
So how many of these drivers up front have pitted already? I don't believe most of them have. I would thought for most of this race we were seeing kind of guys mostly out of the top 10 or out of the top 8 that were bringing down pit road under the cautions. But mostly that kind of top 10 group we haven't seen come down. I know, like you said, Jamie Horne, Justin McMahon, that's their first time down pit road tonight.
I'm currently showing Josh Cully has been down twice tonight already. Adam Thompson, Eric Warman, Andrew St. Cour have brought it down 1 time. Pull up the pit stop cycles here for you. Looks like St. Cour pitted on lap 17, so he's going to be able to go quite a few laps where he's going to have to pit again. Should be coming up on cycles for Josh Cully, for Chris Simon. Maybe Atwood. Nick Atwood, actually, nope, I see his other number there. He's going to be in the same cycle as Andrew St. Cour. So it looks like that BMP team is kind of all on the same strategy here. Eric Warman, Adam Thompson on the same strategy, and Chris Simon, Josh Cully on the same strategy. So unofficial teammates, friends being formed here. Josh Cully trying to break that friendship as he breaks the draft.
We've seen Josh kind of do that time and time again. Josh is just so confident in his abilities. I mean, he's just kind of running his race, man. I even heard Adam come over the radio trying to get a draft going, but Josh is just out there doing his thing, man. And if that's not the story to tell of that 88 machine, I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw him qualify for a race. And brother, I am shocked if I don't see that 88 Josh Cully machine in the top 5 by the end of the race.
Yeah, had a fantastic run last week, finishing 2nd at Dover. He's going to be bringing in right now, actually. Ooh, slamming on brakes, trying not to get that black flag thrown his way. Able to get it down pit road.
That is going to give the race lead to the 71 machine of Adam Thompson. Good to see him back up at the front. Adam been dealing with a lot of adversity here the last couple of weeks. Just found himself in some yellow flag trouble, unfortunately. He's followed by Eric Warman and Andrew St. Cour.
Warman just got really, really loose, and I think that was due to St. Cour pulling up on his bumper a little bit. Not getting any hits, but we've seen with these cars, and since this new update, if you pull up behind somebody like that, they will get loose in front of you. can be an offensive strategy to help get around somebody. And I'll tell you what, it's hard to hold off somebody that's pulling up on you like that, especially getting loose. Good job by Warman to save it. Mark Dumont bringing it down right now.
And like you said, that was one of the things that really kind of came to the forefront in the last iRacing update. I mean, you can get somebody else so arrow loose by pulling right up on their bumper. And same thing if you know what you're doing in front of another car, you can kind of get them arrow loose just by hitting the right lines. So there's just a ton of strategy that comes into play here in iRacing.
Yeah, and you kind of
apologies.
Might see some of that tonight. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nope, sorry, I heard the radio come over here and heard Adam Thompson come over and say to Andrew St. Cyr that he's not going to try anything tricky here. They're just trying to get as much ground as they can. You see Adam Thompson let Andrew St. Cyr go by right there, trying to link up and just trying to move this thing forward. They know they have a lot of really fast cars behind them. They are trying to put some time on as these pit road cycles are still underway. Again, if this is your first time joining us, I am able to hear the driver radio. We have a yellow flag out, it looks like.
I'm trying to find them. It's going to be Nicholas Atwood. And he's going to tow back.
And that throws a wrench in things. I think on one hand you have guys like Andrew and Adam, Eric and Chris, who now don't have to worry about trying to pit under a green flag and seeing where you end back up, but it also brings very, very fast drivers like the 98 and 24 of Jamie Horne and Justin McMahon, who were 47 and 48 seconds respectively off of the lead, and now they're going to be right there in the pack.
Yeah, and it looks like, I believe 1 through 5 will probably 1 through 6 will probably pit here. So I think it's going to cycle out to Cully, Horne, and McMahon, and they probably would have been back up front after it cycled out and was said and done. This just helps them get there a little bit quicker.
And we've already seen, so we know that almost certainly that those guys will have enough gas, will have plenty of tire wear to make it to the end. But now you're going to have guys like Andrew and Adam, Eric and Chris, who will, without a doubt, be able to make it all the way to the end. I wonder if that'll come into the strategy plays at the end, especially if we have any sort of late stage yellow flags.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably a pretty good situation for these guys up front, too, that have to pit, because now they get the pit under caution, going to be able to stick there with the group, not have to try to chase them down. I think that, I think that Horne and McMahon were really going to get out of that cycle and be very far up front. But now these guys get to stick back with the pack, and they've got fresher tires for what it's worth and what you want to take it for. It looks like Jamie Horne's going to do the same thing, get some fresh tires in that car, fill it up with gas. I don't think it needs gas. I think 44 is going to be about the limit that we're seeing here tonight. So after this stop, everybody should be able to make it.
I really don't hate this strategy out of Jamie Horne, to be honest with you. Even though you know you're probably already good, you could have moved yourself up a full 5 spots right there. Go ahead and top off. Make sure the tires are good. Leave no doubt that you have plenty of gas in the tank. And just make sure that you can just get it fast all the way to the very, very end. In terms of our cars staying out on the track, looks like we have Mike Leftwich staying out there. We've got Josh Cully out there. We've got Justin McMahon. And Kevin Thompson, I believe. So as we come out of this caution, you are going to have 12 cars out on the track. Mark Dumont is currently on pit road, getting some damage repaired. He's going to be in 14th, 2 laps down. Bill Gentry out on the track in 15th, also 2 laps down. Nick Atwood, Adam Gardner, Jason Ross, Stephen Bonomo, and Zach Michael have all called it a night. That will give us 12 cars on the lead lap and out on the track as we get this thing back going. 14 cars on the track, 12 on the lead lap. Here on lap 51 at the Beastmode 200 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and I'm showing Mike and Kevin as 11th and 12th. And it might shuffle out here once they cross the stripe again. But the race leader, I believe, should be Josh Cully.
Yep, and you see right there,
Get the wave
that
around.
is Kevin and Mike getting the wave around. So they're going to be starting this thing in the back of the pack on the lead lap in 11th and 12th position. I know both of those guys had to deal with some damage tonight, so they're going to be back on the lead lap getting this thing back going and ready to battle. Looks like Raymond Rittenauer is bringing it back down pit road. Looks like he just brought it in there to top it off.
Yeah, these boys are going to have to hurry back here to catch up. Pull up the track map so you can see where Mike Leftwich, Kevin Thompson are out in the track now. So they're finally getting back around.
Yeah, those guys are going to have to haul to get caught back up here.
I think they'll get it. Ray's going to be... I don't think he's going to catch him in time. Ray's just getting off pit road right now. And those guys are coming around to the front stretch. Pace car lights are off, ready to go back green. Pretty sharp angle to cut into this pit stall here. And you can see the caution cones or the slowdown cones are pretty far up compared to where the wall's at.
You see Mike Leftwich and Kevin Thompson get caught back up there. Raymond Rittenauer absolutely hauling to try to get caught back up. But we are back under green flag racing here. Lap 54 as they cross the stripe that time. Josh Cully taking the lead as we get this thing back underway. Justin McMahon running there in second. Andrew St. Cyr down there on the low side of Adam Thompson. That's your third and fourth there battling. Really good run by Adam Thompson there on the high side to fight off a hard-charging Andrew St. Cyr.
Ray Rittenauer all the way to the bottom of the track. Kind of come up into Mike Leftwich there.
Coming up into Mike Leftwich there and kind of made it work. That was a really, really tight squeeze. Able to come out of it unscathed, both for himself and Mike Leftwich. Imagine Ray was carrying a big head of steam coming in there as he was coming up on the yellow flag. As we were about to go back green, Eric Warman now in a battle there. He's got Jamie Horne on the low side of him. That is a tough place to be, especially after we've seen how great Jamie Horne has been all night. Eric Warman also done a really good job tonight.
Look at that slide job out of Jamie Horne there. Now we got some racing going on. St. Cyr on the inside of Adam Thompson. Might be able to get around this time.
And he is going to be able to make that pass.
Beautifully done.
I know you talked about it earlier in the race, but I mean, that low side is just going to be the easiest place to get around here. Adam Thompson did a really good job on the first lap of getting back up to the throttle on that high side and preventing Andrew from getting around him there, but it's just really tough to maintain that. You have to be absolutely perfect. You really have to be pretty perfect here at Indy all the way around But if you're going to run that high side, you really, really have to be perfect. And yellow flag is out again.
Gary Armijo car is in pieces.
Immediate tow for Gary Armijo.
What a rhyme. Like a Dr. Seuss over here.
Do not like green eggs and ham. My name is Sam I Am.
Ooh, that is the third car that we've seen go into that wall. That wall right there coming out of turn one, claiming its third victim of the night. Before it was going to be Adam Gardner and Nicholas Atwood. That was a hard hit.
Yeah, I think you just have a combination of that snap loose effect. Then also you saw that car pulling up right behind him as we were coming up. Just got that arrow loose along with that snap loose, and that's a recipe to send you at full speed into that inside wall there. I mean, it's either arrow loose, snap loose, or he really wanted to make those golfers there play their $215 round of golf. Really wanted to have to make them go change their shorts. One or the other.
Can you imagine putting right when a car is wrecking beside you?
I think I'd be in that have to go change my shorts group.
Well, while we are under caution, I'm going to see if this actually works. Last time the Doghouse Racing League was at Indianapolis was not in the next gens at all. It was not for points. It was just a little fun run that the admins put on for the group in the Indy cars. And Mr. Eric Warman, see if we can pull this up. I thought I could. That is our TikTok logo. I apologize for that one, but Eric Warman getting to the back of Justin McMahon and actually jumping over his car completely to cross the stripe in front of him. Let's see if I can get it all in one go here. Final lap. What a move. I mean, calculated just like he drew it up. There's the stripe. Takes second place.
Lightning McQueen who? It's Eric Warman.
Yeah, I haven't seen a move that good since Lightning McQueen in the Piston Cup.
Tongue flying and everything.
Yeah, I realized that wasn't scaled very well for the screens there, but I remembered it mid-broadcast, actually, and just try to throw it up here in our system to put it over on the broadcast. Just a good reminder, if you do have TikTok, go give us a follow over there on Nap Daddy Racing.
We
Also-
sure appreciate it.
Also, if you got YouTube, which I know you do if you're watching this, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe and follow and bell. Just hit them all. You know, all the buttons down there. Just sound bar all the way up, theater mode, anything but the X or minimize button. And give Doghouse Racing TV a follow here. Check us out Thursday nights.
We would sure appreciate it. I'm hearing a lot of jabber back and forth on the radio right now. These drivers are trying to figure out where everything is and who's going where. Justin McMahon looking like he's going to be taking the race lead as we get out from under this yellow flag and get back to green flag racing. Andrew St. Cyr going to be second. Adam Thompson going to be third. Jamie Horne fourth. And Eric Warman fifth is how we are going to bring it back to the green flag. As mentioned earlier, I am able to hear the driver radio due to the fact that we want to respect their privacy and that we want to maintain a PG-13 at the most stream here. We will refrain from playing the driver radio over the broadcast. and I will serve as anger translator when needed, or just try to give little insider tips. Try to give them the tea, if you will, out at home. I despise that I just said that, but it is what it is.
Millennials, am I right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, we have 22 laps to go here. Gonna be 21 at the stripe when the pace car goes off here. Lights are off. We're ready to get back racing as we get around this turn 4 here. Gonna be
It is going to be a fun end to this race. Lap 60, 20 laps to go after we cross the stripe here. I apologize. I was getting a little distracted. Andrew St. Cyr and Adam Thompson were carrying on a very friendly conversation over the radio, talking about vacation spots. And such is the beauty of the Doghouse Racing League, such is the beauty of the Group 6 Cup Series, and such is the non-professionalism of my ADD. We are about to get back going green here. Justin McMahon going to take that green flag with a really, really great jump.
Ooh,
He's got Adam Thompson on the low side. Underneath him, Andrew St. Cyr up there on the high side trying to fight off the low side. Let's see if he's able to hold off Adam Thompson on the low side here. Jamie Horne also on the inside.
you see Jamie Horne flash that low side to see if he can get Adam to come down just a little bit earlier.
It looked like Adam tried to keep it up high there on purpose.
He's got the nose.
He's not careful. I was going to say he's going to lose that spot to Jamie Horne. Jamie Horne's gotten that nose down on the low side. Adam goes back up high. Eric Warman also maintaining that high side to see if he's able to get a better run because of it. Jamie Horne able to clear and get back into third place.
Chris Simon trying to put his nose down underneath Eric Warman. Kevin Thompson back there moving around. Ray Rittenauer moving around Gary Clune. Josh Coley with a head full of steam coming up. Got some racing going on.
100%. Looks like Josh Cully got a absolutely full head of steam there going into the corner.
I love it. Justin McMahon trying to break up that draft, knowing how good the clean air does.
It's like Adam Thompson's trying to get as close as he can to that bumper to Jamie Horne, trying to let the momentum carry him up there, see if he can get into the mix. This race has gone single file so quickly, following any sort of caution or anything like that. Makes it so difficult to pass and so difficult to carry any sort of momentum. Very curious to see how that ends up going for especially guys like Josh Cully, who's shown that he's been able to run at the front here tonight. Came down pit road on that last cycle. So he's going to have a little bit fresher tires, except in the case of Jamie Horne, who decided to come down with those top four guys who pitted under that last caution.
Yeah, we're on the back gearbox right now with Justin McMahon. As you can see, he's kind of coming down the track to break the draft. But another interesting thing that you saw there in the corner is how much lower Andrew St. Cyr got into that corner than Justin McMahon. And kind of the reason they do that, one, yeah, you get a good run, but also staying on the bottom left-hand side of that car and keeping your nose past the left-hand side of that car helps you maintain how your car is going to handle. It keeps some handling there. If you get a little higher than the car in front of you, your car will tend to get very tight and plow up towards the wall.
Andrew St. Cyr, who's been kind of fighting from behind after getting the pole position here tonight, had that little incident with getting loose on lap 10 here tonight. Been fighting from behind, been in about 5th or 6th for the majority of this race. Now finds himself in 2nd place. And he's trying to get up on that bumper of Justin McMahon and see what he can do to get back up toward the front.
Yeah, we just saw Andrew St. Cyr and Jamie Horne kind of give the wall just a little tap. Nothing hurt, just a little boost effect. Bounce it off the other way like a pinball.
I said we've talked about that before regarding Indianapolis. If you catch the wall right, especially coming right out of that exit, there's actually kind of a benefit to it.
Oh yeah, there's a few tracks like that, and I'm not talking to the extent of the Hell Melon at Martinsville, where Ross Chastain rode the high side all the way around. But some of these tracks, if you get just a little bit of a tap coming out of a corner, man, it kind of helps. Some tracks, I believe Rockingham is one of those tracks where if you give the wall just a little tap at the top side of the corner between 1 and 2, kind of helps the car rotate a little bit. You can get some speed out of there. Don't want to do it too much though, you know. Don't know if the sponsors or car owners will be too happy with you. But coming coming to the stripe here with 15 to go. McMahon currently your race leader. St. Cyr right behind him, trying to move up to that first place spot. Jamie Horne's been fast all night, led a ton of laps, sitting in P3. Adam Thompson, who has had nothing happen to him so far tonight, is sitting in 4th place. And I say that because I think if anything were to happen, a bug hit his windshield the wrong way, I think he'd take off, be up there at the front.
One of the things I wanted to bring up earlier, too, I mean, you see a guy like Adam Thompson, and you're like, when something happens to him, it seems like he just finds a 7th gear on this race car, and he starts setting land speed records out there. And you think, oh, this guy's just an absolute demon on the racetrack. Like, he's out here trying to win or nothing. And you talk to him, he's the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet.
Good hangs in the broadcast booth.
Good hang in the broadcast booth.
Like, Justin McMahon's not going to try to cut that draft off that time. I think a big thing here, too, and I struggle with this myself, and I know a lot of other people do, is when you're out front with 14 to go, leading a race, knowing you got a fast car, you start getting nervous. Heart rate starts going up. You start overthinking, what am I doing with my feet? Am I braking too much? Am I gassing too hard out? Should I have saved earlier? That's one thing separates a lot of these guys that win a lot, I should say, and people that don't win a lot like me apart from each other. And you really got to maintain composure, and I think that's what Justin McMahon is capable of here doing, just maintaining composure, not trying to drive out your window too much, your rear view. What you've done has got you here to the front. Just got to keep doing it for about 13 more laps and bring this thing home.
And we've seen that tonight, how well the clean air makes your race car, how good it makes your race car drive. And as I say that, Andrew St. Cyr goes to the inside. Huge run by him. Kind of looked like he found another gear there. Good night. What a run by Andrew St. Cyr to find that inside lane to get his nose underneath Justin McMahon. Andrew St. Cyr going to take the race lead here again. Jamie Horne was trying to follow right behind him, not quite able to get it. Got BMAC in the comments saying, come on, Andrew, stay ahead of 98. But also, sorry, Jamie. Which is exactly the sort of comment I expect out of BMAC. Always wholeheartedly rooting for the number 12 of Andrew St. Cyr, but also, in some sense, wishing well for the 98 machine of Jamie Horne.
Justin McMahon a little loose, trying to get back on the track. He's going to lose a lot of spots out of this, I think. I mean, Eric Horman's going to have a run and a half coming up here.
It almost looked like to me that I thought Jamie Horne was gonna get into the wall a little bit there, but I think he was just maybe able to see Justin getting a little bit loose there. And Justin McMahon, unfortunately, had such a good run here tonight. Gonna find himself all the way back in 6th place now. As we see a battle for 5th place, Kevin Thompson is trying to look to the inside of Eric Warman, not able to get it done, but we have a new race leader here. With 10 to go, Andrew St. Cyr back out in front of this thing. Jamie Horne now in 2nd, trying to run him down, and Adam Thompson in the 3rd position. Heard a couple comments over the radio tonight of when you get really close on a car, it just affects the aero so much. So people know how to play with that. That's when you're going to start seeing these drivers out here able to make these bigger moves. What a move by Andrew St. Cyr to get that lead away just a few laps ago. He's got 10 to go to try to hold off a hard charging.
I think he meant to say a hard charging Jamie Horne before he cut out there. I don't know if he's got some mic issues.
Am I back?
You're back. Say
wonderful.
Cut out like right there in the middle.
BMAC just threw a comment in that I will not read out loud because I believe firmly in the announcers, broadcasters jinx. And I had to wear that particular dunce cap earlier in this race, so I'm not going to read that. BMAC, you know we love you, and we appreciate every single comment. But for the sake of what you are wishing for there, I will not say anything about it.
Yeah, my college basketball team is UNC, and Dick Vitale used to be the commentator for the UNC Duke games. I remember it was 2017 or 16. UNC's playing Duke. Marcus Page, number 5 point guard, been killing it all year. And Dickie V goes over. He hasn't missed a free throw in 32 shots. And we missed both of them and almost lose the game because of it. And Dick Vitale was famous for cursing UNC, just saying something and the opposite happening. So I love him as a broadcaster. I hated to see him broadcast UNC games. And actually, there was a big petition to get him to not broadcast UNC games anymore because of that. Not because of he was a very talented broadcaster. I mean, one of the iconic Hall of Fame, the greats. But,
Dickie V, one of the GOATs, but
yeah,
just he's one of those people that has the broadcaster's curse right over his shoulder. And I was about to say, BMAC, you know we love you and we love reading your comments, but I hope you understand why we weren't going to read that one. And she immediately followed that up with, I shouldn't have said that and that Andrew would be pissed at me. So she gets it.
Just saw Ray Rittenauer go to the bottom side of the track. He's able to clean it up and get it back up to the top. Looks like Justin McMahon making that pass, getting back in the top 5. Chris Simon getting around Eric Warman as well. Oh, Chris Simon is blinking out a little bit.
Might be dealing with some internet issues. Heard Eric Warman actually just come over the radio and say the same thing. It looks like Chris is disappearing on us. Josh Culley as well with a full head of steam up there to the bumper of Eric Warman and able to get low on him. He's trying to get his way back into the top 6. Long way to go, especially with 5 laps to go after we get around the stripe here. But these drivers are still racing it for all it's worth. Andrew St. Cyr is still leading this thing. He's got about 0.8 of a second on Jamie Horne, who's currently running in 2nd. Adam Thompson running in 3rd. About 3.3 seconds behind the leader. And Kevin Thompson in 4th, about 4 seconds behind.
Yeah, pulling up the deltas right here between Andrew St. Cyr and Jamie Horne. You can see it's increasing over the past 6 laps. Kind of leveled out just a little bit, but I think it's going to start going back up again. adjustment, man, very loose. Trying to keep a hold of those sectors there. As you can see, Jamie Horne just a little bit faster in the first sector, which is the first half of the track. We'll see where it bounces out between St. Cor and Jamie Horne. As they come across the stripe, you should see the second sector. There it is. Looks like St. Cor is a little bit faster around the second half of the track, but I don't know if that's going to be enough within 5 laps for Jamie Horne to pull in on Andrew St. Cor. You just got to keep your nose clean and pray for no flagman action. That's how I'll put it.
And they are, Andrew and Jamie are on the opposite ends of the prayers there. I mean, we've seen time and time again tonight how once you get out front here at the Brickyard, I mean, the clean air is so, so important. And once you get out front, it's so hard for anyone to run you down, especially for any sort of significant, by significant, I'm going to go ahead and say, you know, anything more than about a half a second. Just so tough to come back from anything like that. And so as a broadcaster, you know, as much as you want to say, like, you know, Jamie Horne going to try to get a run here, Adam Thompson, Kevin Thompson going to try to get a run. I mean, realistically, it's Andrew St. Cor's race to lose at this point, with 4 to go here as we stand right now. Biggest mover out on the track that we have tonight currently is going to still go to the 88 machine of Josh Cully. No surprise there. Moved his way up from 15th to 6th. Saw him lead quite a few laps here tonight. But unfortunately, due to the pit cycles and the way that all was able to shake out, finds himself back in 6th. And got about a half a second to go if he's going to run down Justin McMahon and get into the top 5.
I mean, don't look now, but Jamie Horne has kind of brought this back in about 2/10 in the past 2 laps here. Kind of falling back there a little bit. St. Cor getting a good run out of that first turn. Oh, that's not going to help.
A little touch of the wall by Jamie Horne there. Nothing too serious in terms of damage, but definitely not going to help that run. I knew you were saying able to gain 2/10 in that past couple of laps there. Still was going to be a really long road to go to try to run down Andrew St. Cor extremely fast all night, obviously, with him being our pole winner tonight. With that little touch of the wall, it's going to be very, very difficult to end up running him down here tonight. As they come across the stripe, and now we have 2 to go. And Jamie Horne just lost that 2/10 that he just had. Back to 0.8 seconds behind Andrew St. Cor. It is a 2-car race at this point, and there's 1 car that is doing head and shoulders above the rest right now, and that is Andrew St. Cor. Jamie Horne 0.8 back. Adam Thompson and Kevin Thompson both going to be well over 4 seconds back. Adam Thompson almost 5 seconds, and Kevin Thompson just a little bit over 5 seconds back.
Yeah, BMAC in the comments, gracious. These are long laps. I think Andrew St. Cor could vouch for that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he's ever raced a longer lap than what he's currently racing right now.
Yeah, this 2.5 miles has to feel like 5-mile laps for him right now. Trying to hold it together. You know, I mean, you know you can hold it together. You know you got the skill to do it, but it's the fact that you got to perform right now to make it back around.
And right now is the key word and the key operative of that sentence. Lap 80, white flag is in the air. Andrew St. Cor still out front, still 0.8 of a second over Jamie Horne. Jamie Horne doing everything he can to try to run him down, but right now it is Andrew St. Cor in the catbird seat as he rounds the corner trying to hold on to the lead and bring home the victory here in the Beast Mode 200. I do not see anybody able to catch him. There's already the congratulations coming over the radio. Back in victory lane, already saying thank you to the other drivers. Andrew St. Cor, your winner here in the Beast Mode 200 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jamie Horne going to bring it home in second place. Adam Thompson in third. Kevin Thompson fourth, and Justin McMahon fifth. Josh Cully in sixth. Chris Simon in seventh. Ray Rittenhauer the second, coming home in eighth. Eric Warman in ninth. Gary Clune in 10th, and that is going to round out your top 10. I don't like to make baseball references about racing, but if that's ever a pimp it, walk it off home run, it's the congratulations and the thank yous coming over the radio before the checkered flag has even been taken. Congratulations to Andrew St. Cyr on the victory here tonight. Well deserved and earned after fighting through that adversity early in the race. He's coming alongside the flag stand there, and he is going to burn it down. Well deserved and earned for Andrew St. Cyr. Let's see a show.
And he's going to park it right there. Congrats again to Andrew St. Cyr. Picking up that win tonight. Going to move him up in the points. Well, I don't know if he's going to make a pass in the points. He's currently sitting P2. Definitely going to help his case as he's making a run here towards the end. As we pull up our sponsors for the last time here tonight. Big shout out to everybody that puts this thing on for us. Tell us what you got.
Again, just want to give a huge shout out to all the sponsors for making this thing possible. Again, this was the Beastmode 200, so special thank you and shout out to Beastmode Racing Team for sponsoring this race. But as usual, Group 6, special thank you to them for being our series sponsor. Out here, Group 6 is a leading creative agency. They are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites and developing dynamic web solutions and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks to Group 6 for being the series sponsor this year. We are also very proud in the Group 6 Cup Series and the Doghouse Racing League to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Again, we'll also give a shout out to Butt Kicker. If you want to take your iRacing or racing simulator experience to the next level, be sure to head over to their website at thebuttkicker.com and pick yourself up something today. Longtime sponsor of the Doghouse Racing League and Group 6 Cup Series. Thank you very much to Butt Kicker. And then our shameless self-plug at the end of the race. Myself and John make up Nap Daddy Racing. We don't just do broadcasting. We also are an iRacing design shop. If you need something for your iRacing car to take it to the next level, whether it be a design, a logo, whatever the case may be, templates, we have it all on our website, napdaddyracing.com. Be sure you head on over there. We appreciate being up here in the booth for the Group 6 Cup Series and being associated with the Doghouse Racing League. And we are very happy to be here each and every week with all of you out there on the streams. Thank you very much to the Doghouse Racing League for having us. Be sure you check us out, not only on Thursday nights here in the Doghouse Racing League, but on TikTok as well. Be sure to follow us on social media, all that sort of social media nonsense, all that at Nap Daddy Racing. Got Kevin Thompson in the comments saying, let's go BMP. Be sure you don't miss a second of the Doghouse Racing League action by subscribing to the channel today. Leave a like on the stream if you haven't yet. We greatly appreciate it. We are going to try to get our top three up here for an interview, try to corral these guys up here again. Top three going to be Andrew St. Cyr finishing the race in first with a wonderful, wonderful win here tonight. Jamie Horne going to bring it home second, and Adam Thompson going to be coming home in third.
And we are back. Join us first up here in the booth. I do have our third place finisher, Adam Thompson. Adam, you got a copy of this in the booth? Adam, you got a copy of this in the booth?
I got you. What's up, boys?
What's going on, man? Congratulations on P3 tonight. Fantastic run. Looks like at times you had a complete rocket ship out there. Tell us about this race and tell us about this clean air out here as you guys are running this race.
Man, it was brutal. Yeah, if you was weird, like if you got within 5 car lengths of a guy, it's just like you stalled out, and then of course you just plow through a corner if you were that far behind him, just 5 car lengths. Yeah, I mean, it was a rocket ship, but dang, man, I didn't have anything for Andrew and Jamie. I don't know what they had going on tonight. Well, I do know they were making some adjustments during their pit stops, and I'm too dumb to know how to do that. So I just drive the same set the whole race, if you know what I mean.
That's understandable. I don't really know what I'm doing either. Just kind of push buttons until something works out for me. But
Exactly.
we were kind of joking up here. I mean, it seems like, well, he told you before, when something bad happens, you kind of hit another gear, and pretty clean run, man. Do you kind of wish somebody would have hit your car with a hammer, or a golf ball would have flown off the golf course and hit your windshield or something?
Oh, normally I would say, yeah, I don't think you wanted any damage today. The main thing for me was when you guys saw it on exit, you'd spin out real easy. So you had to feather the gas the whole race. And so I was really trying to just half throttle, maybe 3/4 off until I was completely straight, then hammer down. That was key for me. I don't know about the other guys, but saving that right rear was huge.
Yeah, we've seen some guys get like super tight, like coming in. It seems like it was just very, very loose coming out at some points. A lot of people got victim to that first wall there out of turn 1 on the inside. But heading out to Iowa next week, we just raced there in the ARCA series. So you got a little bit of practice. How do you feel about Iowa?
I'm feeling pretty good. I ran what is today? Yeah, so today I ran NIS at 2:00 my time, and I finished I think 5th or 6th. I don't remember. But the car felt really good. I feel like obviously more track time, so I feel like I'm dialed in. But I'm telling you right now, maybe if you're going as hard as you can, 50 laps you're getting a warning, maybe even 45 laps you're getting a warning, and by 60 you're going to blow a tire. So it's going to be interesting how it plays out next week, because you have to save.
Oh, wow. I know there was some issues with that last week there at Dover, but definitely something to look out for. Some good insider information going into Iowa next week. But before I let you go, any shout outs or sponsors you'd like to give?
Well, shout out to you guys. Thanks for putting on the show. You always do a great job. And thanks to Doghouse for putting this together. Thanks to Ryko for the set. And I got to give a shout out to my neighbor, K-Fed. He just had surgery, but he's doing good. And shout out to my fam. That's it, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it. Good run tonight. Hopefully we can see you up here next week again and talk to you. But have a good night. Go celebrate that podium finish there.
10-4. We'll see you next week, boys.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You
Have
too.
a good one.
Thank you.
It's going to be Adam Thompson finishing third place here tonight, man. Had a good run. I mean, like he was saying at times, it's just like the car was taking off.
Yeah, it's just the Adam Thompson effect right there. And we kind of saw exactly what he was saying over the course of the race, where it's like you get within 5-6 car lengths of somebody, you got a huge run, and then it just seems like everything kind of stalls out. But still a great run by him. Able to make a lot of good passes tonight. Moved his way up from 9th to finish in 3rd tonight.
Absolutely. And coming in second place tonight, you have Jamie Horne coming up to the booth. Jamie, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, man, welcome back. Almost 3 straight wins here for the Doghouse Racing League, coming home in second place tonight. Tell us about that run there at the very end. Looked like at points you were gaining on St. Cour, and other times he was pulling away.
Yeah, it was man, that dirty air is just a killer. So I knew once he got by Justin, if I didn't do something real quick, that'd be the end of it. And because once you got the lead and the clean air, it was just, it's kind of over at that point. So I could gain a tenth or two here or there, and then the closer I get, the more I'd start pushing, and I just couldn't ever get. I think I might have got it down to 6/10 one time, and that was all I had. And it was a challenge once you got by there in that dirty air. Andrew said I got to taste my own medicine from Pocono, so I get to see what it's like now.
Yeah, it seemed like whoever was out front was just able to maintain and keep a solid distance. It looked like about a second of distance between them and the person behind them. But we did see you come down a second time under that next pit stop, kind of by yourself compared to the other guys that had pitted before. What was the thoughts for that pit strategy, that last pit stop you took?
I wish I could say there was a plan to it, but whenever I pitted under green, I had forgotten that on the previous caution, I turned my tires off to take tires where if I was going to go in and pit, I was going back and forth. And so I ended up not going in and pitting, but I didn't turn my tires back on. So when I pit under green, I didn't get tires and come out wrecking loose. And so when that caution come out, I had to come back in and get tires again. And just luckily it was able to work out where I could get back up to second. I really thought once I got me there in that even more dirty air, I was like, my race is probably over, but it ended up working out. And it was a good fun race. I'm tired.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. That's the absolute worst when you forget to turn your tires back on. And I guess it luckily worked out for you, that caution coming out pretty quickly there. But I was going to ask you, how important do you think tires were here tonight? Did you see them wearing any differently than usual?
For me, not too bad. You had to be, kind of easy with the right rear. You could really start to burn it off, but for the most part, my tire wear was good, and I felt like, long run pace, I didn't really lose much, lap times, or didn't have a whole lot of fall off. So I was doing pretty good, I think, managing the tires. It was just all about that getting clean air, really.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on second place tonight. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to y'all for putting on the broadcast, and shout out to our sponsors. Sorry, I got sidetracked for a minute. Shout out to our sponsors, Group 6, Trackside NASCAR Outlet, Auto Pros, Bud Kicker, Nap Daddy Racing, SSR Designs, everybody that helps keep the league going. Um, Shout out to Daniel at home watching. Hope he gets back out here soon. Shout out to Tyler's mom. She's in the hospital, not doing too good right now. So everybody over at LPR and ESR, we're thinking about her and hoping she has a speedy recovery. And shout out to my mom watching.
Absolutely. Well, congrats, man, on second place tonight. Looking forward to seeing you at Iowa next week, and hopefully we can get you back in the booth.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all then.
All right, have a good one.
Y'all too.
It's going to be Jamie Horne finishing up second place tonight. Again, I want to give that shout out to Tyler Millette, 94 car, that racing here in the Doghouse League. Loud Pedal Racing, Elite Southern Motorsports, the teams that he mentioned there, not officially teammates. And but this whole core group in Doghouse Racing is a solid group. Guys been racing together for a while, so you get to know each other and take on the burdens of each other's livelihood with each other. So good to have people that's got your back. Really good league to run in. But also give a shout out to Daniel, the admin. Didn't see him here this week because he is at home still recovering from a surgery a few weeks ago. So hopefully we can get him back here soon. Maybe get him in the booth if he's listening, to get him to broadcast a little bit while he's getting it up to drive. So coming up next, I do have your first place finisher here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is going to be Andrew St. Cour taking home first place. Andrew, you got a copy of this in the booth?
I got a copy.
Man, welcome back. Seems like we have you here every single week now. It seems like your whole entire team is up there at the front every single week now. Tell us about that run tonight. We talked to Adam Thompson about the clean air and how it affects your car. What did you think about it?
Yeah, dirty air sucks. When I, right off the bat, well, first of all, I'm tired out right now. That was a workout, to say the least, for sure, for them, especially the last 20 laps or whatever it was. Battling with Justin, to get by him, and then, watching, mirror driving and watching Jamie, gain a 10th, gain 2 tenths, lose a 10th. It's just so, it just takes so much out of you, just focusing on hitting your marks and not overdriving entries and different things. So, I mean, that was a phenomenal run at the end. I felt the set, my car was on rails, and, unless I made a mistake, I knew I had it at the end. But to back up to the beginning of the race, when I got loose and I lost that, well, for I qualifying on pole, which was really ultimately my goal this week anyway, because I knew dirty air would be so rough to drive in, and then losing the lead the way I did and falling back, and then it just felt like the thing was plowing. And fortunately enough, I think with some pitting on, I think lap 14, put me in a position where I knew I could do it on one more stop comfortably. And then the guys that stayed out, Jamie and Justin, and I think a couple others, they were in positions where I felt like if they were running hard, they would be at risk of not making it to the end on one stop. However, if they were saving at all, or if we had a green white checker, they might have been in trouble. I don't know. But anyway, I was really kind of banking on them having to pit a second time for a splash of fuel, and then I could kind of cycle back out to the front if it went green. But of course, we've got that caution. And I'm really surprised that Jamie came in behind me on that caution, because I think he was only out there for 6-7 laps. And with dirty air, I mean, you don't want to give up that track position, but I didn't realize he unfortunately had his tires clicked off on his green flag stop, which put him in that situation. But Justin definitely gave me everything he could or had to keep me behind him, and that was a real hard battle, for sure. A lot of fun tonight. I got to thank the team for the practice we put in this week. Huge shout out to Beastmode Performance. I ran TWRS set this week. Kenny Coppola, the builder. This set was on rails. It was a lot of fun to drive, and the set was great.
Well, I had 3 questions planned, and you answered all 3 of them with that. Because I was going to ask you about the
Sorry, I get long-winded. I go on a rant.
Oh, so. No, I love it, man. I had like a little list here, and you hit all 3 of the things I had to ask. I want to talk about the wreck that you had earlier before I let you go, though, because she already gave me some shout-outs, too. But I want to ask about going to Iowa next week. They just had the whole repave here in the past 4 or 5, probably about a month or 2 now, where they repave parts of those corners. How do you feel about Iowa and getting around that track?
Honestly, I've already ran a few laps there, and I'm really enjoying the track right now. I did a couple officials this week already, so I got a pretty good grasp of the track, and the sets are already pretty dialed in. So I'm looking forward to barring any major temperature differences, things like that, for the league next week. I feel like we're in a really good spot for the race and our setups, and But in regards to the track, yeah, big difference. You really don't want to get outside of that new pave. The pave area, really, there's a lot of grip there. But if you get kind of high on entry into the corners and you're up into the old, because it's only partial, as you mentioned, on entry into the corners, or if you're off the wall too far on exit of 4, there's a bad bump there. There's a lot of people will spin down into the infield, that sort of thing. So, and a lot of that's just the transition from the new pave to the old. The new pave definitely did not smooth out the track. It's given it more grip, but the character of the track is still there for sure. It's definitely got some bumps and whatnot in the corners still. So it's going to be really interesting, and it's a track that I really enjoy. And I was just talking to Adam about that actually a second ago, and him and I are both looking forward to that race a lot, and I think it should be a fun one.
Oh, I think it's gonna be a fun one too. I actually love Iowa. It's one of my favorite tracks, like top 5 favorite tracks that you guys are going to. But going to be a fun one. I want to say congrats again on the win tonight, and thank you to you and Beast Mode for the sponsorship for tonight's race. I don't know if you have it next week too, right?
We got Daytona coming up.
Daytona, that's what
I
it
picked.
is.
Yeah, we had to put it on Daytona because, as you know, we tend to we like our super speedways. So
Yeah.
that's the other one I picked. So
Yeah, you gotta,
anyway, I was happy to be able to support the league, and that's what that was. That was just us helping out the league and helping out you guys, and trying to pay it back a little bit. For it doesn't cost us much to race in this league, and it's got to thank Daniel and you guys for a great broadcast, and the other admins as well, Jamie and Bill and the guys. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and anyway, we can kind of do little things like this to pay back and sponsor a race here and there. We're definitely up for that. So
absolutely love to hear it, man. Congrats again on the win tonight. We will see you next week at Iowa.
awesome. Thanks, guys. Oh, shout out to BMAC. I forgot her earlier, so
Cannot forget that one.
all right, guys, take care.
Right, take care.
Take care.
It's going to be Andrew St. Cyr, your winner here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Always got to give the shout out to BMAC in the comments. Love having people in the comments. It makes this a lot easier, a lot more fun to interact. But going to Iowa next week, I'm very tempted to pull out a lot of Field of Dream quotes throughout that whole thing. Fantastic movie. I made my wife watch it for the first time the other night. Got her prompted to say, if somebody says, "Is this heaven?" You always gotta say, "No, it's Iowa." So, yeah. Anytime somebody says that, you just say, "No, it's Iowa." But yeah, I'm excited. I like Iowa a whole lot, and I'm not lying when I say it. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite tracks to race at, to go to. We raced there in the ARCA Series last Tuesday night. I believe Hunter Simpson won that race over there at SSR Designs. Shout out to him too for the sponsorship that they put on for the Doghouse Racing League. But it's a fun track, just repaved. I mean, it's kind of a budget repave. They paved the corners, but it's like just 2.5 to 3 lanes to the corners, and there's one strip of repave that goes out into the exit of both turn 2 and turn 4. And provides a little bit of grip, but it's still, like you said, it's pretty bumpy, and that pit road will sneak up on you as you're trying to come in. So it's going to be a fun time, especially in these next-gen open setup cars. That's going to be next Thursday night here on Doghouse Racing TV. Going to start at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to catch some more racing action, you can check out Doghouse Racing on Intensity Broadcasting on YouTube. That is going to be this coming up Tuesday night. They're going to be taking on Michigan International Speedway in the Auto Pros 110. That's going to start at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, it's going to be on Intensity Broadcasting. But other than that, I think that's going to pretty much do it here for us tonight. You got any final thoughts on this race?
Oh man, just a really fun race to watch. You saw a lot of really fast cars out there. I mean, Andrew St. Cyr getting that pole position, being able to fight back, get back in front and win this thing at a really tough track to pass at, especially with how the air works. I mean, clean air was everything tonight. Jamie Horne fighting back from having to bring it down pit road after that little tire mishap. That was obviously something we didn't know. going in. So being able to see him get it back up in second, it's a real testament to him and Adam Thompson just being so consistent tonight and bring home third place. Really fun race to watch. Looking forward to Iowa next week, like you said. You know, it's gonna be interesting. They kind of did the redneck paving job there, which as a born and bred mountain Virginian, I appreciate that they got Bubba and his cousin Bubba out there to pave that thing. So gonna be a really fun race to watch next week. Looking forward to it a lot. Daniel in the comments saying, great race, great broadcast. Obviously looking forward to having Mr. Daniel Wilkerson back out here on the track and adminning this thing with us. Best wishes again to Todd Millette and his family and his mother, hoping that things go well there. But other than that, just looking forward to Iowa, man. Really fun race, really fun broadcast. Appreciate everybody for joining here with us and being in the comments and cheering them on. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody that came out tonight back again next week. That's next Thursday again at 7:45. As they say in Field of Dreams, again, if you build it, they will come. So that's what we're looking to do here next week, man. I'm pulling out all the stops for Field of Dreams next week. You know, we love some good old baseball and the good old baseball classic movies, but gonna be a lot of fun getting to see the old repave and how that's gonna work out. But that's gonna do it for us here tonight. Special shout out to Group 6 for putting us on here. Shoney's, Butt Kicker, SSR Designs, Trackside NASCAR Outlet Auto Pros, and special thanks to Beastmode, that whole team tonight, for helping support the broadcast and sponsoring this race. Next week will be sponsored by, I'm going to go ahead and give them a shout out now, and I want to make sure I get the name right, North American Specialized. Going to be sponsoring a few races here coming up, courtesy of Brandon Trush, runner in the league too. So thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to the admin, everybody that's coming here to watch, spend your Thursday night with us. For the last time, I have been John Smith.
I've been Hunter Foley.
We will see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody. Thompson and St. Cour side by side, racing it out. Who has the faster car to finish this thing? St. Cour is gonna bring it home in first. What a race at the end of that thing. Caution, caution, caution. Come around the corner. Jamie Horne is going to be your winner here at the Mars Properties 200.